This is the view that I'm getting. Hi, baby. It's actually the best. So anyways, I just got home from my workout. My tripod is breaking, so I have to like lean my camera up against a box. I had a great back and biceps workout, but I just wanted to come on here and talk about different tips that are out of the ordinary that have helped me take my workouts to the next level, and I've really seen a change in my body composition, and I'm so excited for continual change in the new year now that it's 2023. What the heck? So I just wanted to talk about, I think I have 4, I listed them on my phone. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 4 different tips that are gonna help you elevate your workouts. The first one being understand in each exercise what muscle or the primary muscle that you want to be using. Understand its action. And once you do that, you can really think about what could help that muscle to be able to go through its full range of motion. So on a hip thrust, you're working the glutes. Your glutes do hip extension, but they also do posterior pelvic tilt. So how can I be fully present in my body to make sure you get full hip flexion by bringing your hip all the way down to the floor, and then that way you can go all the way through the full range to the hip extension to the top of the movement where you squeeze your butt and then tuck it under, getting that posterior pelvic tilt so you can get that ugly butt squeeze. Make sure you squeeze the glutes the most you can. So that's one example. Another example is, let's say for back, since I just did back, like doing a row where you want to target your lats as well as your rhomboids. So one of the movements of the lats is extension. It also does internal rotation. So to get extension, to get the full extension, first you want to go into full flexion. So I'm going to reach my arm forward as much as I can. You can see I'm stretching the lat. And then that way when I row back, I get that full on extension of my arm and also retraction of my shoulder blade, so I get the lats and the rhomboids. Feeling that squeeze, that's why I like to feel the mind muscle connection before I release and stretch again. You want shoulder blade movement the whole way through. No sticky shoulder blades, no half-ass, sorry for the swear, hip thrust. You want to get the full effort most of the time. Now there are reasons that you might do half range or just stay in the tension, but for argument's sake, figure out what the muscle does. Google's great. YouTube, you can find out anything on YouTube. Or hey, ask me. I can definitely help you with that. I'm a physical therapist. I study the body forever and ever, it seems like. So that's been a game changer for me to work on muscle hypertrophy, which is building the muscle, toning the muscle, which it makes it a little bit different from overall strength. Overall strength, you're trying to use everything you've got in order just to move that weight, and it might not be quite as isolated. So number 1, muscle action through the full range of motion. My second tip, along the same line, flexing the muscle through the full range of motion. If I'm thinking of doing that same row, I'm not only doing the biggest range of motion, but my mind, my brain is so present. I'm not thinking about what I'm doing after, hopefully not what I'm eating after, even though sometimes I do, or what's going on in my life. I'm literally just thinking about that muscle. If I'm just thinking about my lat and just squeezing and using that muscle, it's going to go so far. Visualize the muscle. It's going to help make your workouts more of a meditation too, and like a de-stressor, because you have to be so present in your body to get the most bang for your buck in it that it will de-stress you too. Not only will it help you isolate and build the muscles you want to be working, but it will just help you mentally and maybe even spiritually too. Those are my top 2 tips that have helped me lately, aside from just regular progressive overload, which you definitely should be doing, of course. Okay, my next one is to not shy away from the burn. So you want to be going heavy enough so the last 2 or 3 reps are really, really difficult. However, the the body is always going to want to find a way to compensate and to get out of it. So if I'm doing a row, this is where I might start like swinging or rotating my torso extra. Or if I'm doing a hip extension, I might not finish the lockout, do the full posterior pelvic tilt, or maybe I'll just do it really sloppily. If you're going for that bodybuilding, you want to gain muscle and emphasize specific places, it's important that you know your tendencies to want to compensate, to want to swing, to want to just use everything in your body to move the weight. Really just get serious, go back to that muscle and just move so slowly the last couple reps instead of swinging it and just powering it up. My point is, a long way of saying the last couple of reps should be slow, controlled, and without compensation. This isn't like you always have to do this, but if your goal is to build and emphasize specific muscles, then this is how you should do it. And it's worked for me. Don't shy away. Allow it to be slow and difficult the last few reps, my friend. And that also kind of goes with my last point. Point number 4 is to lift heavy enough that you absolutely require at least a 2-minute rest interval. Always take my phone with me for a timer so that I can time myself 2 minutes between every working set. It is so much better to do less exercises but more intensely, instead of feeling like you have to get through 8 to 10 exercises in 1 hour and you have to rush your rest intervals. Never rush a good workout. I would so much rather you go heavy, mentally connected, present, slow last few reps, and that your muscles, since you've done all of those things, are fatigued. Therefore, you need a 2-minute rest in order to do another quality set. Another quality set is going to require those muscles to replenish those energy sources, ATP, creatine, you know it, all those physiological things that happen that we don't see. We need a rest in between. If you are doing a big compound lift, your first couple of lifts, you might even do 3 to 5 minutes. I would recommend, if you are new to programming workouts, having somebody kind of help you who knows what they're doing so you understand what makes a good program and also how to progress that program with going up in weight, changing up the volume, like your set and your reps, changing up the rest interval, learning how to do these different things that I'm talking about that also progress you but are a little bit more nuanced. Yes, there's so much that I could talk about. I could talk about doing fancy things like drop set and using bands and chains, and we could go the whole 9 yards, but that's what this YouTube channel is to break things up into bite-sized pieces. So hopefully you can take these 4 tips with you when you go into your next workout, and it helps you to improve and reach the goals that you want. So the first one is think about the muscle that you're using, go through the full range of motion. Number 2, work on mind-muscle connection. Know that it might take you time. It's a skill to be able to do that effectively every time. You can always improve on these things. Number 3 is the last few reps should be slow without compensation for best hypertrophy, best building of the muscles. And to be able to do all those things, you should have to rest at least 2 minutes. So like for my leg days, I really do 4 to 5 exercises. Sometimes for my upper body days, I stay a little bit longer than an hour because I'll do like 4 back exercises and like 2 or 3 biceps. And then on shoulders and triceps, I'll do the same, like 4 shoulders and like 2 or 3 triceps. So that makes sense. It's quite a bit more. I'll stay maybe like an hour and 15 minutes. But it just depends on how many days you can and want to go to the gym and what your goals are, how you would split that up so you know exactly what you should be doing when you go in there. That way you can utilize all of these principles to the best potential that you possibly can. But remember, at the end of the day, it is your journey. There's always improvements that can be made, but I'm just proud of you because you're here because you want to better yourself. You want it to infiltrate into every other area of your life, because it does. I have never been more confident and sure of myself than going through this journey. So just enjoy the journey, make it part of your lifestyle. And these things, if they kind of sound maybe far out to you right now, you don't understand what I mean by mind muscle connection, just know that it will come. Keep showing up for yourself this new year, make a plan, and keep that self-integrity. Stay committed to it, and you will see the change in your body. I can't wait to chat about more lifting techniques, more fitness stuff, and all of that throughout the rest of the year. Thanks for being here, my friend. Subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Holly, or DocHollyHealth, and I post every Wednesday. Also, you can come hang out with me on Instagram. I'll see you next video.